Alex Answer here, coming to you early in the morning. I want to thank Trent for reaching out, letting me know about a situation in Nevada. Although I don't have all the solutions, I think I need to bring it to your attention. I think there needs to be more news coverage of these things that are taking place. A couple of years ago, I reported on what was taking place in Costilla County with people being kicked off their land, even threatened with jail time if they didn't leave their land. And this is a situation that is not resolved. We're seeing other situations pop up in other areas. Trent also has a YouTube channel, Freedom from Government, a lot of great content. But even if we reach a lot of people, that does not make us immune to some of these people out there. And perhaps in some cases it could be retaliation. Trent wonders. But here he is on 120 acres in Nevada. And he receives a number of notices by mail from their DA. Telling him about the number of offenses that have been found on his property. And I'm going to share with you the video of Trent calling the DA, asking if there was a warrant to collect this information. And then, of course, other questions could be asked. Who's the victim here? And so there's a lot that I have to say on this. Perhaps I'll come back and talk about some other things, but I just want to cover a few points. Number one, this has been on my mind lingering for a while. We have a lot of people that complain about the homeless crisis in urban areas. Now, off-grid living isn't for everyone, but there are people in many cases, and we can see this in many cases where people are being kicked off their land and they're pushed back into the city. Or we have the case of the guy in Conifer, Colorado, which is just outside Denver. And he received an inheritance from his mother. And he was previously homeless, so when he got the announcement that this money was coming in, he put the money into land. And apparently he picked the wrong location. Because of a shipping container and perhaps a mobile home, and it's always coming down to this mobile home issue, he was cited and may have been forced off his land. I'm not sure the follow-ups, but this was a story that came out last year. And so this is a tragedy. And then you also have U.S. veterans that are also kicked off their land. So even if people are, this is the next major point, really high off the current political cycle, I'm not, because I'm an independent. It's not a matter of being left or right. And a lot of people understand that. They also understand they've been had right now. So here's the point. A lot of people have been really high off the last election cycle, or pumped up about it, or even super angry against the guy. The point is, what about people being kicked off their land? Who's speaking for those people on the left or the right? And I'm telling you, I don't think there really is anyone elected in office that cares. But what is the solution? The solution is we are the solution. You know, I started a website called offgridco.com, and I wanted that to grow to be a resource for off-gridders, staying up for their constitutional rights, their property rights, private property rights, especially if they're not hurting anyone, and it's a victimless crime, and it shouldn't be a crime for people to live on their land without septic systems. There should be a movement that is educating people about things like compost toilets and about getting around certain codes and regulations, so there's a solution to homelessness for the people that are able to help themselves. You see, that's a certain accomplishment for some people to be able to pull some money together when they're living on the road and put down a few $1,000s for a down payment on land and be able to live on that for a number of years in harsh conditions on their own. And there should be some flexibility for people that are willing to do it, because people in the past, our ancestors, wherever your genetics come from, lived a particular way without this grid. And it's still within us. That power is still within us. And it seems like this society wants to call that out of us, our ability to live off the earth. So that's my mini speech. I'm going to come back with more. I have disconnected the internet from my home so I can focus more on videos in the coming weeks and coming months during this spring and summer season, to be closer to nature, to be a little bit more passionate about the things that I speak about, to not rest on my laurels. But we need an off-grid movement. We need to organize. I think it should be apolitical. I don't think it should be co-opted by certain people and individuals. I don't need to, get into certain things in this video that I've talked about in the past, but there are people that will do that. There are Pied Pipers that will claim to stand up for people's rights that in fact are there to sabotage. And I've covered that in the past. We need to see a more conscious, more awake movement of off-gridders that crosses political lines. Check out the links down below. Subscribe to Trent's channel, and follow the updates.
District Attorney's Office, this is Lynn.
Yeah, I'm calling to talk to Fran.
Can I tell her who's calling?
Yeah, this is James Goodbody.
Do you have a parcel number?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
It's 003-590-01.
Okay, just a moment, please.
Sure.
Hi, this is Fran. How can I help you?
Oh, I've been informed that I needed to give you a call.
Okay. Do you live in Pershing County or in northern Nevada?
I do, but I'm not in the state right now.
Okay. You have this property up here that needs to be cleaned up.
Okay.
The pictures, what would probably be the best is when you plan on coming out to do so, to contact me, and we'll have to set up a time, and I can meet you out there on the property and go over everything with you.
Okay. Hey, can you tell me what the complaint was that originally started this?
That there was somebody living in RVs on property. It's prohibited in Pershing County. You can camp on your property 14 days, 4 times a year, but you can't permanently live. There's other code violations as far as outdoor storage, all the storage that's out in the open for the public to see when they are out there. You have unregistered vehicles. You're only allowed to have 2 unregistered vehicles on your property. But if the 2 that you have are unregistered, they can't be in the view of the public. So there's quite a few things. That's why I said it would probably be best if we just met out there and went over everything.
I have a few more questions. Who was it that did the search?
What do you mean the search?
Or the inspection, I guess?
I did.
And
a deputy sheriff.
Was there a warrant?
No, we didn't need a warrant. We were just there on a complaint.
Okay,
it looked like abandoned property. We didn't know. When we came in, we didn't know that it was private property. So we weren't sure if it was squatters or not.
Well, I put in this big concrete posted sign that says keep out and no trespass.
But it's all open space, and we came up a different way. Where we came up, the road we came up didn't have any signs.
Okay, so are these codes?
Or fencing or anything.
Are these codes that you're saying that I need to adhere to? Are they constitutional?
Yes, they are.
And
these are Pershing codes, and they're Nevada state. The dumping, leaking your gray water into the ground is against the Nevada administrative codes. And
administrative. That's not constitutional. Do you have any evidence that these codes even apply to me?
Yeah, sir. I don't want to argue with you about the codes. If you're not willing to clean up, we can.
Well, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just asking questions. Do you have any evidence that they apply to me?
We have you're buying the property from Mr.
So that's evidence that the codes are applicable?
And we have pictures of the violation.
Okay, so that just means that you did a warrantless search. Have you ever gone by Toulon?
Yes.
So why is he not being prosecuted?
I can't discuss other people's property with you.
Yeah, well, it sounds like selective enforcement to me.
It's not.
Okay, well, I would just say you can go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm going to demand a bill of particulars when you start a civil case. So.
Okay. So are you saying you do not want to meet? You just want to?
Well, I don't think I have any obligation to you.
Okay. So you're not going to clean the property?
No, I didn't say that. I want to be in compliance, but I want to make sure that these codes are applicable.
We want to work with you to be compliant. That's why I was offering to meet you out there so we can let you know what's okay out there and what's not.
I have a feeling that these codes are not constitutional, and by you prosecuting me, that will give me an opportunity to challenge them in the appropriate venue.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're not gonna call and let me know that
the thing is, I'm scared now because I don't know what to expect from you guys. Are you guys going to adhere to the Constitution, or do you stick to your commercial codes that you're trying to apply to people in the private?
Sir, I'm not going to argue with you about the Constitution.
I'm just asking questions.
I'm just going to follow our procedure, and I can meet you out there and go over the codes if you're willing to clean it up. If you're not willing to clean it up, I'll continue to send notices.
I don't want you out there without a warrant.
From there.
I don't want you out there without a warrant.
I won't go on your property without a warrant.
Okay, perfect. But you already have. That's the thing.
I can stand off your property and take pictures, sir.
Yeah, but you already that's fruit of the poisonous tree. Nothing you already did is even admissible.
Okay. That's fine.
Am I wrong?
I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't.
I'm not an attorney.
Well, you're at the district attorney's office.
I am. If you want to talk to an attorney, I can make an appointment. You can talk with one.
No, I don't need to. I don't use attorneys. They're officers of the court.
Okay.
They're bound by the rules of the court.
Okay. Well,
they can't ever challenge.
It sounds like we're at a standstill here, so I don't see any reason to continue the conversation.
Yeah, well, these codes that you're trying to apply to me are communist, really.
Okay. Well, have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.